All right, so welcome to this live stream on Sketchup. I just want to show you the incredible potential of Sketchup. Hopefully you can learn because basically it's free on the internet. So I'm just gonna do a walkthrough of something that I created recently, and incredible potential of, and you're gonna see like this is really mind-blowing. SketchUp is a 3D modeling software. So as you can see here, this is in my browser, by the way. As you can see, you can create not just images but three-dimensional objects and environments. So here, if I pull on the scroll on my mouse, I can actually zoom out. If I press on the letter O, which stands for orbit, I can actually orbit around this lovely lady, and I can orbit around the car as well, you know. And so it's like you're creating a three-dimensional world on your screen, and you can share your SketchUp files with your friends, and they can even view it on their tablet and smartphone, but they can only do something modify on their desktop, I believe, or laptop. And so if I zoom in, you know, you can see I can actually take a look inside of the car. So I press on the letter H, which stands for hand, and I'm going to be able to move the canvas. So now I'm going to zoom in, and I can actually see what's inside of the car, which is insane. The level of detail. And by the way, I didn't create this this car. Somebody did and shared it online, and you can download all kinds of objects like this, you know, a car, a private jet, a building, a castle, and you know, people they share their creations. So here I'm almost inside of the car, and you know, I can take a look around and see what's going on inside of the car, and you can see that the design is pretty good. I have no idea how the guy or the girl did this, but it's pretty, you know, it's pretty realistic. You know, I'm inside the car now, like it's amazing. You know, I'm inside the car. Okay, I'm sitting in front of the car now, in front of the steering wheel. I mean, this is insane, and you know, this is insane. I'm gonna zoom out. So if I zoom out and I orbit, whoops, if I zoom, whoa, what's going on? If I zoom, oh yeah, if I zoom out, so this is the back of the car. Now there are so many objects like this, amazing objects that you can download, and like I said, SketchUp is a free online. So let's take a look at the back and maybe underneath this car and see what's underneath. There's nothing. Okay, there's no engines. You know, he didn't go that far, but that's okay. I mean, that's pretty you know, it's pretty difficult to do. So as you can see, I press on O for orbit, and I can orbit around. And you look at this lady, she's not two-dimensional, like she's three-dimensional. I have no idea how the guy did it, but she's three-dimensional. And if I look closer at her face, let's take a look at her face. It's pretty well done, and that shows you the power of SketchUp. So if I press on O for orbit, you know, it's crazy. I can look around her face, you know, from the side. I can look at her from underneath, you know, look at her chin. I can look at her from the top, you know, her hair. I mean, it's insane. All right, so let's take a look at the rest of my SketchUp. So I'm gonna zoom out, and here you see I've created like a tapestry of money, $100 bills, and that's what I'm currently in the process of doing. I'm teaching people how to print money, but how to print money legally, okay, by creating digital products. So let's take a look at another. Yeah, so here we have a kind of exhibition, right? This is something I'm going to share with 40 million Canadians, and artificial business intelligence for Canadians. You can see the maple leaf here, which is made up of computer circuits, and the way I teach Canadians is to tell them, look, there are at least 3 levels where you can operate. You can operate at the first level. This gentleman here, he's holding a guitar, so he's kind of like an artist. He's a creator, and he's creating products. So let's say that this box beside him is a product, but you can see that he's not like a business person, like he's not a business owner, so to speak, right? He's a creator, which is great, but he's operating at the first level. And so Mr. Creator here has to create something, and then he has to move up the stairway here to get to the second level, where we have a businessman who looks a little bit scary. But anyways, this is a business owner. He's wearing a suit, and I probably should find another avatar. This guy looks a little bit scary. But anyways, this is the second level where you're playing the game of business. And in a few minutes, I'll explain the game at this level. The game of business at his level here is very analytical. It's not creative like the first level with this gentleman over here. Actually, he doesn't look like he's working too hard, so maybe I should find another avatar, like an artist. But anyways, here he's just creating. And these days, with artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Claude, Base 44, Replit, Gemini, you can create so easily. So this is not the problem where most Canadians or most people all over the world, this is not where they're going to have trouble, because they can just talk to a large language model and they can create a video, an image, they can create a software program, etc. So this is not the problem. The problem is here. Once you have a product, how do you go to the market? How do you choose the right market in the first place, right? This is, what I'm going to explain in a few minutes, the game of business. And this is something I used to teach 20 years ago in 2006, so that's 19 years ago. I began teaching women entrepreneurs, and I designed a workshop that I called Business Model Workout, BMW. Oh, I forgot to share this live stream with my Facebook group. So just give me a minute. I'm going to share this live stream with my Facebook group, and I'll get back to you. Hold on just a minute. Okay, I just shared it, and so members of my Facebook group, I'm going to share it in another Facebook group where I'm an expert. Hold on, and this is great because you can live stream something on YouTube and you invite all the people in your Facebook groups to join, and yeah. And Sketchup is really powerful if you're teaching something, because people can actually see what's going on in 3 dimension. So okay, I just shared it. Okay, let me go back to my YouTube channel. Is that right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, like I was saying, the second level is where people will encounter difficulties and challenges, and this is the level where you have to learn about business, because ChatGPT and Claude and Google Gemini, they're going to give you all kinds of answers. They're going to basically help you to create any product that you want to create. So that's the first level, the creation level. But they're not going to be able to teach you business. Maybe they can, but business is like martial arts, right? It's not a video course that you're watching online and then about business. It's a martial art. You actually have to go into the marketplace and you have to test yourself against consumers, against suppliers, against the competition, against substitutes. So it's really like hand-to-hand combat. You cannot learn business from a book or from a video course or from a software program, even if it's a simulation software program, like those flight simulators that trainees are playing with in order to learn how to fly a Boeing 747. It's great. A software can be a simulator, so you get into the simulation and you get exposed to a lot of business situations in the same way that a pilot in training would get into a $9 million simulator and he or she is going to learn how to fly a plane. But flying a plane is kind of technical, right? You just have to take care of what's going on in your plane, and of course the weather, but it's largely how to control your plane. But when you go into business, it's not just controlling your business. You have to consider so many other factors in the environment. So that's why business can only be learned, and this is really important. Business can only be learned when you do business, when you're running a business. And so this is the level 2 where we see this businessman. He's learning business. So in a future live stream, I should probably add customers and suppliers and the competition, because when you do business, you're not alone on this platform. But the point here is that you can see that he's on a different level than the first guy, who's more like a creator. But to create web applications, to create AI agents, it's not enough. It doesn't matter what you create. You have to become a business person. You have to understand capitalism. What is it all about? Capitalism is not understood by many people, including successful investors and business owners. They don't, because I've tested them and they just don't know exactly what capitalism is. And it's not their fault. It's like asking a fish explain what water is. The fish doesn't know what water is because the fish was born in water, right? And it's so natural. So here, I live in Canada, but in North America or in developed countries that are industrial, that are operating under capitalism, people try to do business. They try to make money, but they don't understand business. They don't understand capitalism. And so I'm going to explain that later on. But here you see the second level. But second level is not the end of the game. I played this game before and I failed a lot and I succeeded a few times, but this is not the end, because as you can see, there's a third level here. Okay, even if you're a successful business owner, you gotta move to the next level. But the good news is that you notice that the stairway here is there for a reason, because the guy here, the creator, he's not going to be able to go to the second level. But you look at the business guy here, he just has to turn around and he's going to be able to access the third level, which is the level where I'm playing right now. I can't say I'm winning, but at least I'm playing at the third level. But before we talk about the third level, where we see these three lovely ladies, they're triplets. I didn't have time to download a different lady, but I should, right? Looks like they're on the dance floor. But anyways, this is the third level. But for the guy, the business person here who's successful, for him to go to the third level, he has to turn around. So let's do something here. Let's try to swivel him, rotate him. So for that, I'm just gonna click on the, where is it here? No, it's not orbit. It's this thing. Rotate, but to rotate, I have to press on the letter Q. And so here, I'm gonna rotate this guy. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna click here, and then I'm gonna rotate him. Oh, sorry. What? No, this is when he's falling. Okay? By the way, it's possible that he makes a mistake. The competition is killing him, and therefore, he's falling from the second. I don't know if you can see that. He's falling from the second level onto the first level. So now he has to start over. But let's assume that he's not failing. So we're just gonna turn him around. So how do I do that? Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna turn him around. So he's a successful business owner, And so I'm gonna approach him, and I'm gonna tell him, dude, there's a third level. And so now he's facing the third level. He's facing the three ladies, and now he knows that, you know, he can go higher. But this is probably not your case, because unless you're a successful business person. So anyways, we're gonna move him. So I press the letter M for move, and I'm just gonna drag him. Whoop! I'm gonna drag him towards, and you can see that he doesn't need a stairway. He can just climb onto the next level. And the reason why so many successful business owners, they don't climb to the next level, including the multi-millionaire friends that I have, is that they are facing the west. They're not facing east, right? So that's what I just did here. I just turned him around so that he's facing the next level. And you know, hopefully, you know, he can get to the next level. You know, hopefully I can teach business owners how they can move on to the next level. Let me just save this SketchUp. Okay, always save your SketchUp. It's not saved automatically, so you want to, you know. And so this is what I want to do. I want to help people who are successful business owners to somehow jump and, you know, go to this level. Okay, so now he's here. I'm just gonna, right, so he's here. Yo ladies, what's up? So so he's meeting smart, beautiful women here, and these women are super rich. They have ultra net worth, over $100 million. He's got like only 10 million, so he's a loser compared to these ladies. So, you know, now he's joining the true elite. You know, like he's really joining the elite. He's standing around with these lovely ladies. Yeah, like I said, I have to find another avatar because this guy looks like scary. But anyways, you know, he's standing here, and therefore he made it to the third floor. And I don't want to show you the fourth floor and the fifth floor. It's going to scare you. But this is the third floor, and that's not even the end of it. So these ladies are, you know, they don't see the fourth floor, the next level, but I'm going to show you in a future live stream, maybe. But you're not even here. You're not at the IP deployment level. You're not even at the second level where you're running a business. You might be at the first level where you're creating, or you're trying to create something, software program, what they call vibe coding, but you got to get to the second level, and that's where this guy is. So we're gonna bring him back. Okay, but at least here, you can see that he's where the hell is he? Yeah, it's kind of difficult to move objects because don't forget, you're not moving objects in 2 dimensions, but in 3 dimensions, right? So there's a way to do that, but I forgot how to do it. Okay, we're gonna put him on the second floor here. So now it's fine. At least, you know, he's contemplating the third level where he can join the ladies and he can make money. So very quickly, the third level, you see here what looks like a printer, but it's not an ordinary printer. Okay, it's actually printing money. It's printing digital products. It's printing intellectual capital. Or intellectual property, what we call IP. And this is why these smart ladies, you know, they're so happy and they're dancing, because they are actually printing money. And you look at this lady over here, she's looking in the direction of southeast, and she can see that, you know, she's printing money. And this is what you see over here, the Benjamin Franklin's, the $100 bill. So the sky's the limit. Oh, what is that? Okay, this is like a suitcase, and I'm not going to tell you what's in it, but there's money, but there's something else inside of that suitcase, which I'm going to talk about later on. So anyways, you can see that these ladies are really at the top of the game. There are more levels, which I'm not showing here because it's like it's just going to blow your mind. Like, you know, it's going to be so scary that you're not going to be able to handle it. But there's a fourth level, there's a fifth level. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you today. You know, you got to go from being a creator here, and then you become a business person, you're running a business or multiple businesses. But typically you're running one business. It's hard enough. And then, you under my guidance, you're going to be able to create intellectual capital, and then you can get to the next level over here with the three ladies. So that, most people don't understand that. They don't see the big picture. They don't even realize that there are three levels. A lot of people, they go into business like this guy, or it can be a woman, and they create a service. So right away, like when you create a new business and it's based on your service, you're a consultant, you're a trainer, you're a teacher, you're a coach. Already, dude, you're going in the wrong direction. Like, you cannot build a business like this guy here on the second floor with a service. It's impossible. Okay, it's impossible because a service requires human beings, and you cannot scale human beings. You cannot make a copy of human beings. Like this guy, it doesn't matter how great his service is, as a keynote speaker, as a sales trainer, as a coach. Like, there's no way that he can clone himself. I mean, if there was a way, sure, maybe like, you can clone yourself like the Optimus robot by Elon Musk. If this guy was a Optimus robot, yeah, sure, he can clone himself. But right now, there's no way to clone you. And so forget about services, create a product. And that's what I wanted to show with this box here. The box is a product. Once you have a product, then let's say that this is a product for the sake of argument. Let's say it's a product. I'm just going to group the elements. Once you have a product, even if it's imperfect and you're charging only $1 for that product, no problemo, because you can replicate your product. See, like I replicate the product, another one, and then another one, and then another one. The replication process is very easy because it's just a matter of making copies of your digital product. And even if it's a physical product, you can manufacture a physical product. You can replicate like infinitely, but you see these products infinitely. But this guy, he can be a genius artist. He can be a great public speaker, a great coach. He's always going to be stuck at the first level. He's never ever going to be able to get to the second level where we see this business guy. Okay, so important to understand. I feel that with what's going on with Charlie Kirk, I didn't even know him before he was assassinated, which is a tragedy. But what I've learned from him is that he's trying to teach young men the right way to live, right? Like believe in God, or work on yourself, self-control, start a family, blah blah blah. All of that is good, but I was inspired by him because I can actually teach young men and young women, by the way, also how to think about business. So this Sketchup, it really shows you that there are three levels, and it's possible for someone with normal IQ to go from one level to the next. Because here, you look at this. This is a stairway, right? If you have legs, you can go up the stairway. If you have a brain and normal intelligence, you can go to the second level. You look at the successful business people. They're not, extraordinarily smart. They're rational. Okay, they're logical. They tend not to be too emotional, but they're normal people. It's just that, most men, boys, have not been taught how to make money in business. They don't even know about business. Like I know, because I studied 3 years at McGill University, and they didn't even teach me about business. They didn't teach me what I'm showing you here, that business is the second level. And obviously, they didn't teach me the third level. Okay, so even a business school didn't teach me about business. And I paid like $17,000 total, including textbooks, everything. $17,000, so close to $20,000. And I sacrificed 3 years of my life. Actually, I sacrificed only 2 years full time. The first year I had a job was paying $53,000. So I was studying in the evening, which is a killer. Like I had a full-time job and study in the evening. But in the last 2 years I was full-time. So it's like I lost $100,000 in revenue because I had to quit my job, right? It's full-time, it's daytime. So I'm just telling you that if a business school like McGill, also known as the Harvard of Canada, if they didn't teach me business and I paid good money for it, that shows you how business is not being taught. Even if you're paying them good money, they're not going to teach you business. I, on the other hand, will teach you the truth about business in a very simple way that even a teenager can understand it. In fact, I'm going to invite my 17-year-old nephew to watch this video, and if he understands it, then it means that it's very simple and everybody can understand it. Wait, I hope I didn't insult him by saying that. What I meant is, my nephew is very smart, very talented. What I mean very simply is that a 15-year-old can understand this diagram about business. Okay, there are 3 levels. You have to create something like a product. Don't offer a service. Create a product. It's unusual, it's strange, but you have to create a product. Otherwise, you're never going to be free. You're going to be working for somebody else for the rest of your life. So number 1, create a product. Number 2, learn to run a business. And I'm going to teach you the basic 3 processes for running a business. Very simple. I taught women 20 years ago. They get it. I was also teaching teenage kids in high school. They get it. It's not hard. And then in a future live stream, I'll teach you how maybe not you, but I'm going to teach business people who are successful how to get to the next level. Okay, so now let's take a look at the game of business that I've been talking about. And I'm telling you that it's super simple. So let's let me prove it. Hold on, let me just save this document. All right, so let me just show you the game of business, what it's all about. And don't forget, this is level 2. So I'm just going to press on the letter R and I'll be able to create a rectangle. So imagine that this is, and whenever you see the diagonal line, it means that it's a perfect square. So I'm going to create a perfect square and we're going to have a view. Oh, sorry, this it's not right. I have to create on the floor. So let me see. Okay, so I'm going to create so let me redo that. I'm going to create a square on the floor. Whoop. Like this maybe. And now I'm going to show you like the game of business is really simple. You just have to do 3 things very well. So I'm going to put it over here. Okay, you just have to do 3 things very well in order to succeed as a business owner. This is the first time I'm doing this, so thank you for your patience. So the first thing you have to do as a business owner is understand that your business is a system, right? Input, processing, output. That's it. That's all. That's what a business is at the highest level. So we're going to create a circle to represent the idea that it's really just whoa. Yeah, no, that's not good. Let me redo that. So it's the idea that business is really a cycle that you have to control. So what is the first thing that's happening in this cycle? The first thing is marketing. You know what? I think I'm going to stop here because I'm going to create this business game, and I'm going to do another live stream because it's too difficult to create and teach at the same time. But the idea is that business is simply just 3 things that you have to do. You have to do marketing over here. You have to do selling over here, and I'll explain that in the future live stream. And you have to do customer satisfaction. So as long as you do these 3 things, marketing or lead generation, selling or closing a deal, and delivering the product or the service, your business is going to be fine. So that's what business is all about. All the professors out there, all the universities out there that are teaching business at the MBA level. It sounds very fancy, but it's not really business, because like I said at the beginning, guys, business is really like a martial art. It's not something you study in a book. You have to go out there in the marketplace. You have to face a prospect. You have to sell something. You have to take the money or the credit card, and you have to deliver the product. That's what business is. So anyways, I'll see you in the next live stream, where we're going to explore exactly what the second level of business is all about. And just to end on a inspirational note, just want to show you here once again what you can look forward to. This is amazing. This is like, you can go really far. Like, you can create like a whole city. Anyways, just to end on an inspirational note, you can see that when you master the game of business, you're going to be like this lady here. You're going to be able to buy anything and everything that you want. A car, this is just a toy. You can buy a private jet. You can live the life of the rich and famous, but you just have to understand business. It's not hard. It's not reserved for the super talented. Business is special knowledge that you have to master, and to the extent that you're taking the time to master that knowledge and apply that knowledge and keep correcting yourself, you're going to be able to become super rich. It's really not hard. Okay. And also, I want to conclude on the following note. You see this SketchUp rendering or animation or drawing, and you might think, well, this lady is not for real, this car is not for real. But I'm telling you that your life right now is not real. Your life is a dream. You're having a dream right now. And so the trick is that you have to be conscious that you're dreaming. So for example, like whenever I dream, I'm never conscious in my dream. In my dream, I feel like it's happening to me. I can't do anything about it. There was only one dream where I actually thought, wait a minute, this is a dream. I'm Superman. And I started punching the ground, and it felt amazing. It's, I think, one of the few times when in a dream I realized I was in a dream. And so I became a lucid dreamer. So it's the same thing I'm telling you right now. You're having a dream, and I'm telling you, you can control your bank account. You can make it grow 10 times, 100 times. You can, work hard and buy this car. You can work hard and, attract a beautiful wife like this lady. You can work hard and print money. It's just a dream. But if you believe that, no, Peter, it's not a dream, like this is happening to me. I was born poor. My parents didn't teach me about business. My friends are losers. If you think like that, you're never going to get out of your nightmare. So it's important to understand that I'm in your dream to not to give you power, but to help you to realize that you already have the power. This is a dream. You're dreaming, dude. You're dreaming. So, just start taking action that will lead you to your ideal life. But you have to know what kind of life you want. Do you want this car? Do you want a wife like this lady? What is it that you want? You have to tell yourself, I want this. I deserve this car. And I'm going to learn from Super Peter about business, and I'm going to make it happen. You have to decide. Otherwise, 95% of people, probably people they haven't decided. They haven't decided whether they want this car or whether they want this woman or what they want a certain lifestyle. They haven't decided. So they spend their whole lives, 40 years, working for somebody else. They're working for someone who has decided. Okay? So you have to be a decider. You have to commit. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to learn business. It's possible. It's not hard. I'm going to learn one step at a time. And I'm going to, buy myself this nice car. This could be maybe just the first car in your collection. But you have to decide. And that's one of the things I like about SketchUp, because I'm hoping that by showing you this car, from multiple angles, that you're slowly going to realize, wait a minute, maybe Peter is right. Maybe I am lucid dreaming. Maybe this is a dream and I can do something. So please don't make the mistake that you probably made when you're dreaming. Don't make the mistake that your life is happening to you. No, everything around you, you are creating everything around you from your beliefs, from your thoughts, your habits. You are in control of your dream. Once you realize that, you're going to feel like, all the rich people out there, whether they have a net worth of 10 million or 50 million or 100 million, it's just a number. The trick that the rich have, especially the ultra rich, the trick that they have is that they realize this is a dream and they can make decisions and they can change things. I mean, I'm not saying that Elon Musk is not super smart. Like, his IQ is probably way above average. I'm not saying that he's not a hard worker working like 80 hours a week. What I'm saying is that fundamentally, and maybe Elon Musk doesn't even realize it, but fundamentally, subconsciously, he doesn't believe that this is a dream that is happening to him. Like, he's the one who's making his life happen. Okay? Like, he's producing 14 kids. He's creating SpaceX and Tesla, and because he's super smart. But he doesn't believe anything or anyone can stop him. Now, of course, we cannot all aim to be like Elon Musk, right? Like, Elon Musk there's only one in a billion, maybe 10 billion. But you don't have to achieve that level. You just have to, focus on yourself, change your belief and begin to understand that, your life, you look around you, it's all created in your mind. It's just an illusion. An illusion is like VR. If you've ever used a Quest 3, the VR headset, when you're in the VR headset, everything around you is so real. I mean, I remember in 2016, a friend of mine, childhood friend of mine, put on my head like the PSVR 4 or 5. Anyways, it was by Sony PlayStation. And I put on the VR headset, and suddenly I was like 50 meters under the sea in a cage, and I saw like a giant shark, try to break the cage, and it was so scary and so real, and that was 2016. That's like 9 years ago. Today with the Quest 3, and Quest 3 is a consumer product, right? There are VR headsets that are way better, but with Quest 3 you're in an environment where, my God, it's so real. So I'm telling you that your life right now, it's a kind of virtual reality. You look around you, you look at your clothing, you look at your kitchen, you look at your computer, it's all just a virtual reality. It's a simulation that is created by you. So that's the difference. When you're in a Quest 3 headset, the simulation is created by the game developers and the movie makers and all these people. But in your life right now, you're the one who is creating the life that you see around you. And this is not like some kind of spiritual woo-woo stuff. Scientists and physicists have realized this a long time ago. Like Einstein, for example, said that when you're not looking at the moon doesn't exist. So in the same way, when you don't imagine this kind of car in your mind, this kind of car will never exist in your life. Now, of course, when you get to the point where you can buy this kind of car, it's not going to look cartoonish like this. It's going to be a real car. But my point with the Sketchup is just to stimulate your imagination. And so after this live stream, you can go on YouTube and you can take a look of all the cars that you want, and you can let those pictures and those videos influence and feed your imagination so that you can begin to believe, like I said many times, you can begin to believe that you're having a dream right now. Maybe you're having a nightmare. I don't know. Maybe you're so deep in debt, and there are so many people who don't even have like $500 in their bank account. Like in the United States, the richest country in the world, like over 50% of people don't even have like $500 or $600 in their bank account. And then all over the world, you have people in developing countries who are making like $1 per day, which is crazy. So that's why I decided to create the artificial business intelligence for Canadians. It's going to be created by Canadians, and it's going to be for Canadians, and it's going to be very affordable, very cheap, and people can download this business intelligence and they can learn the game of business. They can have the AI play the game of business for them, and they're just supervising, and they can buy anything that they want. Maybe in your case, maybe you don't want a sports car. Maybe you're a woman and you want a beautiful house, you want to travel, you want jewelry, you want designer clothes. That's fine. Whatever you want, you can get it. Why? Because your life is a dream. Your life is your dream, and you can make it the way that you want to make it. But you have to be careful about choosing. Okay, you got to choose again and again. Every second of every day, you're choosing a thought, you're choosing an action. So if you keep choosing the same thing, if you keep choosing talking to the same friends, watching the same YouTube videos, wasting time on Joe Rogan or other TikTok videos, you just choosing incorrectly. So I'm just telling you, like, if you don't have the life that you want because you think that it's happening to you, right? No, just get rid of TikTok. Don't go on YouTube and watch, entertaining but useless videos. don't waste time with friends who don't help you with your goals. Like, just don't see them so often. You know, hang around with people who care about your success. I care about your success. I want you to become super rich like this woman. So hang around and talk to and invite for coffee or for lunch the people who have something valuable to teach you. Don't waste time on the internet. Don't waste time on TikTok. TikTok is a black hole. If you're using TikTok, trust me, you're a loser. So get rid of TikTok. I don't even go on X.com. Like, people are just yelling. Like, you're not getting anything useful on X. Like Sam, forgot his name, the neuroscientist. Oh my God, I have a blank. Anyways, Sam and Jordan Peterson, these are smart people. They all left X because it's just a wasteland. So anyways, I'm going to end the live stream here, but in the next live stream, I'm going to teach you how to become a business person. And you can run your business, and then after you're successful, I'm going to teach you how to play the game of intellectual property deployment, where you're literally printing money. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I'll see you in the next live stream. And please don't forget to invite your friends and family to watch this video on YouTube so you can discuss with them.